All right, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this. Hello, Franklin Simpson Wildcats. Welcome back to World Civics. We are on day 2. If you've made it to day 2, congratulations. I'm glad we didn't lose you with day 1. So, our assignment for today is a get to know you exercise. I would love to be getting to know you guys in person, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to do that right off the bat. Hopefully we can later. But for right now, this is what we're going to be working with. So on the Google Classroom, you will see that there is a get to know you Google form for you to fill out. Watching this video and doing that Google form is the only thing you have to do today. So I am going to do the Google form in front of you right now. This is for you to get to know me. So I will be going through question by question and giving you my answers. And then I will look at your answers and we will see what we have. So first up on the getting to, bells are still on, kids. So getting to know you. Second day of school, so you will type in your name there on the first question and select your class period. So the first real question that we have is, are you involved in any after-school activities, sports, clubs, organizations? If so, which ones? So I'm going to answer this like I'm in high school. So I'm going to go back to my high school days. I did play basketball in high school. I did not make the team my freshman year, but I did make the team my sophomore through senior year. That was a lot of fun. I also did speech and debate, which was probably my favorite organization I was involved in. But I was more heavily involved in theater. I also did theater. Those were my big ones that I did in high school. I have a few more, but they're going to make me sound really nerdy, so I'm just going to keep those out for right now. So I'm just going to stick with, like debate didn't make me sound nerdy enough. Hold on. I'm a nerd, and that's just, you're going to have to be okay with that. Next question, where are you from originally? I am from Clarksville, Tennessee. That is my hometown, born and raised. Went to high school in Clarksville, Tennessee. If you know where that is, good. If you don't, doesn't matter. It's about an hour away. It's right on the border of Tennessee and Kentucky, on the Tennessee side. Clarksville, Tennessee, that's where I'm from. Population, I want to say somewhere between 100 and 200,000. I will look it up though. I have no idea. Well, Clarksville, Tennessee population, 156,000. That's the population of Clarksville. That's where I'm from. Right next to Fort Campbell Military Base. We have a lot of people coming in and out all the time. It's a really good place to be. A lot of different people there. I really enjoyed my time in Clarksville. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time? Okay, so I would say that my favorite thing to do in my free time would be... Boy, I really am making myself sound like a nerd here, but I'm going to say reading. I enjoy reading. I collect first edition novels because they have history to them, and I'm a huge history nerd, so I do enjoy reading. I also go to parks and I play basketball. I just to keep my body active. I don't want to... If you don't use a skill for a year, they say you lose it. So if you don't do something for a year, it's very hard to pick up. So I want to keep my body active, keep my mind active, all of that. And I also play Frisbee golf, which nobody plays. Nobody plays Frisbee golf, but I do play Frisbee golf. In fact, I am actually leaving here today at 3:15, which is when I get off, and I'm going straight to the Franklin County disc golf course because I have never played it, and I'm going to see, or not Franklin County, Simpson County, Franklin, Kentucky. Sorry, I'm new here. I know that's probably something you guys get a lot, but I'm going there today. So disc golf, reading, and basketball, those are my favorite things to do in my free time. Do you have any pets? If so, what pets do you have? I'm a dog person. No shame if you're a cat person. I get it. I get the appeal, but I personally am a dog person. I have a 2-year-old English Springer Spaniel. His name is Fredo, which is if you know what the reference is, his name is Fredo. If you know what that reference is, mad respect to you. Email me, let me know what the reference is if you do know it. So I have a Springer Spaniel named Fredo who is 2 years old. That is my pet, and he is the best. And now that is the only pet that I currently have. Where is your favorite place on earth? My favorite place is a small town called Ashton, Idaho. Population like 800 people. Small potato farm town. It's the entire town is one street, Main Street, and it hasn't changed since the 60s. It's where my dad grew up. So we vacation there every summer, and I have a really good time going. It's out in the mountains. There's nothing out there. Quiet. It's just my kind of place. For some people, that's not their kind of place. Some people want high rises, lots of people to interact with, busy commerce kind of stuff. And I completely understand the appeal, but it's just not for me. It's not my calling. It's not exactly where I want to be. I enjoy more open, small country towns. So my favorite place on earth, Ashton, Idaho. Have you been personally impacted by COVID-19 and give as much or as little detail as possible? So I have had a couple of my friends be diagnosed with COVID-19, and while they survived the illness, they do now have a couple of life-altering symptoms, which they have no idea how long they're going to stick around. They could stick around forever. I do have not a lot of friends. I have 3 friends who have contracted the illness, and in 2 of those cases, their family contracted it as well. I don't know anybody personally who has passed away from the disease. So that has been my experience. I was student teaching last semester, and my student teaching semester, which is a big semester for upcoming teachers. You learn a lot. You get to build personal relationships with your students. It got cut short, which everybody's semester last year in Kentucky got cut short. So I know we all went through that. So for this question, whatever you want to write, write as much or as little as possible. And I really mean that. If you want to go into detail, go into detail. Give as much as you want to give. If you don't want to go into detail, or you don't think you've been affected by it, that's okay. That's a fair answer. You can write that. There's no judgment on any of these questions. This is just so I can get to know you. You don't feel pressured to share any more than you want to share, and don't feel that you're going to be an inconvenience by sharing more than you want to share. Share whatever you feel like sharing. And then our final question here is a multiple answer question, meaning you check all that apply. Which of the following would you be interested in learning about? And then we have about 24 areas that we might potentially be going over. We're getting a late start to the school year, so we'll figure out what stays and what goes. So those categories are ancient Greece and Rome, ancient China, Mesopotamia. We will go over all of those in the first week. Those are going to be the topics for our first week, or those 3. Medieval times, the Renaissance, the Reformation, the Age of Exploration. So the Age of Exploration, what I mean there is when Europeans and when different continents that we already knew about, which we refer to as the Old World, so that's Europe and Asia, go out and they explore, and they discover North America, the Christopher Columbus story. That's what we mean by the Age of Exploration, when Europe and Asia explored the rest of the world and discovered that they were not alone. Scientific revolution, the Enlightenment, the American Revolution, which I'm sure we all have a certain level of understanding for already. The French Revolution, the Industrial Revolutions, cultural revolutions, which are very interesting. They don't sound interesting. Revolutions in themselves, I mean, by definition, change the world, and that's what's interesting to me about history, is the changing of the world constantly. And cultural revolutions, what we're talking about is changes in society, and we're seeing a little bit of a cultural revolution right now in our own society. Nationalism, imperialism. Imperialism is when It's very closely related to the age of exploration, but it's a little bit different because instead of exploring, you're conquering. So when Europe kind of goes out, and this is mainly referring to Africa, but also South America and North America as well, it's these known large countries like Great Britain coming down to Africa and claiming territory and imperializing. That's what we're referring to when we say imperializing. We're going to go over all that later. You don't need to know that for the quiz right now. But if you're curious, you don't know what the word is, and you don't know whether or not you'd be interested in it, that's what we're referring to there. Then we have World War I, World War II, the Cold War, African American history, Native American history, modern Middle East, Asia, and Latin American, civil rights history, and then current events. And that is the last question on our Google Forms for today. So again, watch this video, get to know me, because you're going to be seeing a lot of me. You're going to be seeing a lot of this face every once in a while, well, every Monday. It's going to scare me every time, I promise you. This will not be the only time that the bell rings in the middle of one of my videos, and it will scare me every time. Just beware of that. So fill out the Google form, and when you are done for the day. Should not take you more than 5 to 10 minutes to fill out the Google form for today. So watch the video, and then you are all set. Remember your Google Meet times. Remember, log in if you have any questions. I have office hours, 1:15 to 3 o'clock every day. Let me know. Email me if you want to set up a time that we can video chat. All of that stuff I'm open to. And until tomorrow, you'll be getting another video like this tomorrow with another Google form to fill out. Until then, keep going. We're going to make the most out of this. All right? See you, Wildcats.